Hey guys, welcome to episode 158.
Whoa.
I was thinking kind of crazy. That's a lot.
That is a lot. That is a large number.
Yeah.
I would get, like, if someone's like, start counting, I would get bored before I got there.
Like, what percentage of beers have we done that are like unique? Like, and what I mean by that is even yearly, like not, well, like a 2019 fresh hop versus a 2020 fresh hop is the same beer.
Right.
They're
Whereas,
not,
like,
but let's like pretend they are.
oh, yeah. And even that, I would say, is like, those are more different than, like, whether we podcast or not, we do have more Fifth City. And so that would literally just be the exact same beer that we would podcast twice. But yeah, even if you count the ones like the Enjoy buys are like a good example, that's still a lot.
Like probably, it's probably close to like 90%, maybe like 80% is like very like generous, right?
Sure, but yeah,
So
80%, 158
is 126.
That's still a lot of different beers.
We've done a lot of beers on the channel, so like the video, support it or something. I don't know where I was going with it. I just, it was 158 caught my eye today, and I was like, that's a lot.
I get that.
Today we are drinking. So this episode is going to be a little bit short. We're going to break it up into two parts. The first part, well, two parts. Both are Bale Breaker focused episodes. The first part is In the Loop number 4. Is in a series. I don't know anything. Well, I lied. I do know something about the series. They utilize.
It's just not true at all.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what these are. And then I was like, actually, I think I do know what this is.
Incorrect, sir.
They use experimental hops to make these beers, and apparently this one's really juicy. I didn't really read anything about it, but that's what I know about this one. HBC 630 and HBC 586, Yakima Chief Ranches and Hop Breeding Company is who those hops are created by.
Yeah.
I don't know what like I get the idea of like cross breeding plants and like varietals and stuff, but like it maybe I just don't know, or it's like so regular with like how many different fucking apples there are or something, but it seems like I hear more about experimental hops than like any other plant.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask where the plant's vagina was.
No.
Good, because I don't know. That
looks like a thick boy, by the way.
Yeah, well,
it's only 6%.
Look, it's kind of clear.
Yeah. It's 6%. IBUs are 35. Doesn't mean anything, by the way. They use a specific yeast for hazy IPAs. It's only 6, so I mean,
I will say,
that's not a good.
No.
If he says that,
no. This, I'll just say right off the bat, is really good. But,
however,
noticeable difference from when I had it, like when it was really fresh off the canning line.
This is like October of 2021. So this is like in that whole. This is also part of the leftovers from fresh hop stuff.
And actually, I think I even got this before like fresh hop season really kicked off. I think it was before then because
no, I thought this was released in October. Could be wrong.
No, because we went to Yakima during harvest. Was it October? Was it like the beginning, like the first week of October, maybe? It might have been.
That's God texting you saying, "Yeah, motherfucker." Or it's your dad saying, "Hey, FaceTime."
Are you ready for FaceTime? Yeah, every Thursday, Dad. I don't know or really care. It was either the end of September or early October.
I was wrong. Availability releasing at our Yakima tap room on 8/27.
What? That's
August 27.
Oh, 8. You said 8.
Yeah.
I heard October 10. So I'm dumb. Anyways, that makes more sense. Yep. I think it was the end of September we went there. Either way, I'm saying all this because we went there during harvest and we stopped at Bale Breaker on the way home, and that's when I picked these up. So that's why I was like, it couldn't have been October, but it could have been actually. Either way, it was like a month old maybe when I got it.
What do you think of it?
I really like it. Again, I do think it was like noticeably better when it was more fresh though. So that stinks a little bit for you.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't know.
Sure.
It might, and I think it probably sucks more for you since you have something like I don't know.
That's true. The beer is what it is for you.
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
I wish more hazies would go this route.
Yeah.
Of being low ABV. I think I get more of like hop flavor than I do like juice flavor out of this.
Yep.
It is a little watery. Like I
noticed that too.
My sweet spot for IPAs is like right around 6.5%. I think is like ideal. I think you go lower and it gets a little watery, a little pale ale-esque, and you just don't get as much like hoppy grittiness out of it. And then I think probably anything over like 7.2 starts to get like sugary almost.
Yeah.
So I think my sweet spot is like maybe my sweet spot's like 6.4 to 7.2. Like that's probably my like ideal range.
Okay. That is I don't know why it matters to me, but that feels better to me. Cuz I was going to say I think my sweet spot is like if I were to pick a number, I think I would say like 7. I like the higher end of them personally. And you like the lower end of our window. I agree with your window completely.
I don't know that I like the lower. I think it would depend on the beer style, like a strong West Coast, like Total Domination's probably in that like upper 6s, 7, right?
Well, yeah, it's got to be. There's no way it's lower than that.
But those because like that style of beer, because it's a little more, I don't know, like, well, I guess maybe just less fruity. I think the flavors kind of come out a little bit, like they can go a little bit heavier and it's not as noticeable like how like fucking thick and juicy it is.
Right.
I don't want to open up Beer Advocate or Untapped.
Beer Advocate's not so bad, but are you talking about the app?
Just take me to fucking Ninkasi.
Yeah, that's true. Beer Advocate isn't as bad. Untapped is just like, fuck off.
Total Domination, 6.7. So higher end of 6.
Okay.
But like their Tricera hops, and I mean, the Megalodon is 10.5, and that one I like.
That's true.
Like there are beers that break the mold for sure. So.
I'm like having a hard time remembering, or rather, I'm having a hard time like recalling the taste of the Megalodon. It's been a long time.
I remember it being very similar to Tricera hops, but just like more.
Yeah. I feel like I remember liking it more than Tricera hops because I feel like, and I could just be completely misremembering, but I'm like remembering it being a little bit more bitter than Tricera hops.
It could be. I think that would be an interesting Total Domination, Triceratops, and Megalodon to just do like
Yeah.
all three.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. I have not had Triceratops since I was in California. It's been a long time.
Did it not come in the pack I gave you when you first moved here?
Maybe.
Because I feel like it was Total Domination, Triceratops,
The red ale one.
Red Dawn,
Yeah.
and Prismatic.
Yes, prismatic it was.
I think.
Yep.
That pack seems to make sense to me. So
maybe it was then. But that's still a while ago. That's still like 2 years ago.
yeah, not
I mean, going on 3.
not recent, but
No. Actually, no. It's closer to 3 than it is 2.
Oh, how many beers we've had since then?
Seriously, that's crazy.
158. I will say, for a Bale Breaker beer, there's nothing like super exciting to me about this one.
I'm disappointed because it had more pop when it was fresh. I think I don't know. It's an IPA, so they're more prone to that. You know, like I feel like it's a lot less noticeable if you have like a porter that's like 6 months old, or
Yeah,
right
especially if
off the
you
line.
throw in some like flavors in there, right? Like a
Yeah.
smoked porter. It's like, yeah, it's not really gonna
Never gonna
affect
notice. Yeah. One beer I know that like I always think about when it's like coming between like super fresh and like it doesn't even take that long, like 3 or 4 months old. Daisy Cutter is like drastically different. It's crazy. I think I told you about that one Jewel that I could go to and get the 6-pack of the 16-ounce cans, but it was like the build-your-own, so it was $10. Yeah, there was definitely a lot of oldies in those piles, and it's like you can really tell the difference.
That's funny.
Yeah, but do you like it though?
Yeah, I think it's tasty. It's just I think it's a very casual, like I think that's probably the best way I'd put it, is like for Bale Breaker it's more on the casual end.
I get that.
Because I think if you don't like beer and you don't really drink IPAs, you're probably not going to like a lot of Bale Breaker stuff. Like they are very like focused on hop varietals and the taste that come with them, and like the Leota May is like almost like a hemp beer or a really dank beer. Like it's almost right there, like taste wise. Not so much smell, but definitely taste.
Yeah, no, definitely. And even Bottom Cutter, like for a double IPA, that one's pretty hoppy. That one's like pretty bitter, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Like compared to a lot of the double IPAs, they're just like super syrupy or sugary. And I've not had most of their beers also in quite a while. I feel like when I first got here, Top Cutter was like a big deal, and I feel like most bars don't really carry them anymore. You'll find them at like Safeway. You'll get like a Top Cutter and then their variety pack, which I have no interest in at all, because it's like Top Cutter, Bottom Cutter, Field 41, which is boring as shit.
Yeah, I don't really care for that one.
Super boring. And then is it just those 3, or is there a 4th one?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I can't remember. Like, because I always think the same thing, and I've never really interested in getting it.
I've never bought it.
I think it'd be a good one for like a party where, like if we were like you, me, Jack, like beer drinkers were hanging out, then like
Let's go and bring.
that's a good one. But other than that, I'm like never really see.
I wouldn't
reason
even.
to.
No, I wouldn't even bring it to like a normal party.
Yeah,
Because like there maybe somebody will like one of those 3 or 4 beers. Like they're not all gonna get drank.
if you're bringing that, you're like, well, I hope Levi's coming because we have 12 beers to drink.
Yeah, no shot. But
the draft thing, like I think it's really interesting doing the podcast because I used to get like variety packs and the same beers a lot and stuff. I don't really do that anymore. I kind of just drink the beer that like is part of the podcast, because obviously we drink 4-ish on average, and there's 2 left over, and I'm always buying new beer and stuff. You're buying new beer as well, and it's like, I think the podcast stopped me from like doing a lot of that stuff, and so really the only time I get like the bog standard beers is when I go to a restaurant or a bar or whatever. The choices have been ass. I don't know if that's a COVID thing or what, but like,
they're terrible. I'm even looking at places like Parkway where they're only a beer bar, and like I don't know. I don't mean to be an IPA snob, but I'm like,
I am,
I guess. And like, when you have like 40 taps and only like 5 of them are like pale ales and IPAs, I'm like, I don't want like 6 sours. Like, I'm not gonna have any of those. I don't need 4 stouts. Like,
well, you're a tavern, so you sell beer and wine, and so your cocktail people aren't even coming. So who's your target audience? Beer drinkers, really.
Right. And I think, I could be wrong, maybe I need to do some internet searching, but I would say if you're a beer drinker, more often than not, you're going to be into IPAs.
Yeah, I would say probably at like generous percentage, 65% at least are IPA drinkers.
Yeah.
So, and you don't need to have like 65% of your 70% needs to be IPAs, but you should have some like decent selections for sure.
Like a chunk of them that are decent selections.
And to your sour point, I mean, they had 6 or 8 sours up there, and it's like, you're not going to have, like, you need 2.
Right. It depends on who you're catering to, I guess, right? Because, I mean...
Well, like a Parkway Tavern where there's like, it's like bar, like a little bit better bar food, like it's like sandwiches and pool and shuffleboard, buck hunter. Like, it's not a cider place, really.
It's a beer crowd. I mean,
guaranteed, like cider people would like that stuff, but I'm just saying, it's like vibe wise, it's not a cider thing,
right? And thankfully, they do usually have like 1 or 2 ciders on there, so like they try to cater to that a little bit as far as specifically cider. But yeah, like the what you were like alluding to, it's like, a lot of these like sours and saisons and stuff, like most avid beer drinkers, I feel like, aren't going for that. It's the people who are like into ciders, or even like some cocktail people who are like, nah, I just don't really love beer. It's like I think of like a Renee, like she's a bad example because she does like beer, but she just doesn't like to drink it too often. But like, there's people that will just be like, I don't like beer, but then you like show them like a sour, they'll be like, oh, it's pretty good actually. Yeah. So I feel like my brother is actually a good person, a good example of that, where he'll drink like a lot of different sours or saisons and same.
Yeah, and I like, that's what I'm saying. It's not like, oh, you need to take that sour off or whatever and replace it with an IPA. It's just like, at a place like that where your general customer is more than likely an IPA drinker, you should have a couple good options.
Yeah, like you said, like look at the type of place it is. Cody's not their target audience.
No, he's not.
And Cody isn't going to be the one to like, oh, we should go to Parkway. Like he does not want to do that. Like, he'll go to Parkway if everyone else is like, let's go to Parkway. He's like, all right, fine.
Yeah,
like,
he's hanging out with us.
Yeah, like, oh, like there's definitely something there that I'll enjoy, but like it's not going to be his first or second or third choice. Like that's not where he wants to go.
Well, last time was bad for us because it was like there was literally nothing that we wanted.
Well, yeah, because all of the handful of IPAs they had, every single one was a hazy.
Yeah.
That was rough.
Every single one was a hazy. There was also like Sig Brewing, who I vowed at that time I will never drink another beer from Sig Brewing. I do not like them.
Sam, I am.
Maybe they're cool. I don't like their beer.
Right. Yeah. No, 100%. That's how I feel. Their beers, I wouldn't even really call it beer. It's a carbonated alcoholic beverage. But I don't know. Yeah, that was rough. Even the bartender, she was like, "Yeah, this is."
She's like, "This is weird."
Yeah, like apologizing, like, "Sorry, this does not normally happen like this." But like, who the fuck's ordering your shit? Like, how does that even line up that way?
How it lines up is they probably have an order where, say, there's 10 handles. I don't know. There's more than 10, but say there's 10.
They rotate them, and
2 of them are sours, 6 of them are IPAs, and the last 2 are dark beers. And what happened was it's just that's their standing order every month or whatever. But
so which obviously what are the kegs that?
But the sours aren't.
Yeah,
the sours aren't selling. So throw another sour in. Throw another sour in. Throw a dark beer, and then you got 3 IPAs
that are all hazy because all the West Coast ones
are sold out
very quickly. That always, like, I even like looked at people like E9. You know, when you hear from like Tyler, like, oh yeah, like, you know, this like this beer went so fast. It was like, you know, the day of or like that weekend, it was gone. And then they'll have like the same hazy beer on there for like a month, and it's like, hello, are you watching what's selling? Like,
I do think they are, because this year I've seen less of that, and I've seen them really focus on.
That's fair. You're right.
Hopped lagers up there and that kind of thing. Like,
that's true.
On Point's been up for a while. Well, I can't remember the last one. They just won some March Madness for their beer. I can't remember what it was.
Oh yeah, I don't.
Won or got second place or whatever. But whatever that one was, that was up there for a while. So
yeah, but yeah, you're right. They that is fair. They have been a lot better about having more stuff like that. Okay. And just like more West Coast IPAs being put into production. So I appreciate it.
I'm like, I just want to know what can't remember what the beer was.
You didn't text me like a picture or anything of that bracket, did you?
No.
Was it on their Twitter or something where the bracket was? Or
no, it was Peaks and Pints that was doing the thing. Maybe I should go to Peaks and Pints. E9's Detour Ahead, and it did win.
Yeah, nice.
So there you go.
Good for you guys.
Well deserved.
Yeah, it was a good one. Did enjoy that.
Did an episode on it. Pints series on YouTube.
True. Watch it.
Yeah.
Should we talk about this beer?
Yeah. I wrote some notes. So you can take the rest.
All right. So look, obviously pretty clear for like a hazy beer. I wouldn't call it like a West Coast style beer. It's definitely pretty hazy. One might say he's tall, dark, and handsome for an IPA. That is. Seems kind of racist, actually.
Maybe it is.
All right. Smell.
You got a problem with racism?
I don't know how to answer that correctly, to be honest with you. And that's what made Trump a racist. Oh man, that's one of my sidetrack. Like, that's one of my favorite things. People are like, he won't denounce racism. That he's racist. And it's like, if I just walked up to you off the street and was like, are you a racist? Would your first answer be like, oh no, absolutely not. I do this, that, and that for the black community, blah, blah. Or would you be like, what the fuck, dude?
I would say, what the fuck?
I would probably say, what the fuck? Like, who is just...
Well, especially with how, like, just language has been... And here, I'll do it to their language. Language has been co-opted
Ooh.
To like that's not what they mean, right? Like when they're asking Donald Trump to denounce, they're like, you know, they don't actually mean racist. They use words to say you're a bad person.
Yes. Well, yeah.
Right.
Well, and that's not even to begin the fact that it's like this is a fact. 75% of the time people say racism, they actually just mean prejudice. Is like the actual term racist, like it's just like completely inaccurate for what the point they're actually trying to get across. And that always annoys me.
There was an article released yesterday that literally Washington Post headline is, as Roe v. Wade repeal looms, video game industry stays mostly silent.
What? That's like, why does every single brand, every single industry that you partake in, why do they have to comment on every social bullshit?
Lau and I reached out to over 20 major video game companies about whether they intended to speak up in favor of reproductive rights or provide monetary aid to employees.
Fuck off.
Just a few said yes. Most said nothing at all.
Which, of course, yeah, the way they paint that, it's like they're clearly against it. That's why they're saying no, or at the very least, we want to give the impression that they're against it. Man,
what, like, it's a video game company. What do they have to say? Like, I would, like, if I owned a video game company and they're asking for my opinion, as a video game company, I'd be like, why? Nick, you are sitting in that chair right now, and for that reason and that reason alone, will you stand up for reproductive rights?
I stand for
See,
nothing.
that's another language that they're co-opting too. Reproductive rights. That's not what that is.
No, not at all. It's completely different. You have
anti-reproduction.
That's also true. Yeah. You have reproduction rights. You can reproduce if you'd like.
Yeah.
Actually, I think we're all very for that. So
I don't really understand.
Yeah, can you refine your question? I don't really get it. Oh, man.
Where do you stand on this very important issue? Well, I had sex with my wife last night. Is a baby going to pop out in a few months? Maybe.
Maybe. Does that answer your question? And
I have a right to do it again.
Exactly. Man, it's like...
What are your feelings on this? I am pro-sex. I do enjoy that activity.
That thing is
cool.
A good one. And I think the fact that we're talking about it.
Yeah.
9/11 was bad. You know? So do. I don't want any company to comment on anything unless they are literally putting capital towards or against something. You know what I mean? Like I don't want McDonald's to say anything about the fucking environment unless they're like, oh, we donate to this charity, blah, 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 to do XYZ for the environment. Then I'm like, okay, you have...
I feel that way.
Yeah.
I mean... Except I can be a little more succinct about my views. Everyone, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. If you could do that.
Just listen to our podcast. We'll do the talking for you.
Exactly, yes. So this beer, am I right?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. There's not a super juicy smell or any you know. You're getting close.
It's a little fruity, light hopped stench, if you will. But nothing super pungent. You're right. It's all very, very mellow.
And it was all mellow.
Exactly. The taste, we both agree on the front end of it. It's a little watery. It's a bit light, which is ironic because it contrasts the like juiciness and hoppiness that it's got going on as well. So it's kind of, I don't know. You good over there?
No.
Okay.
My mic almost hit me in the face, so
Oh,
that
no.
was fun.
Wow. That's rude.
I mean, I don't think it really contrasts it to me. I feel like
I'm not saying contrasting like in a bad way. Complimentary, maybe that's a better way to say it. Yeah.
I just feel like it's not. There's not a lot going on in this beer.
No.
I think you do get like some upfront like hop flavors and then a little bit of juice heading on the back end, but then it's just kind of like it's crisp and but the entire experience is like
it's cohesive. Nothing sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
It's like it's like a LaCroix.
In what way?
Like this is an IPA because it's like it's an IPA yelling from Elizabeth's room.
So it's a LaCroix IPA.
Yeah.
Not just a LaCroix.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Specifically a LaCroix IPA. Yeah. Yeah, like someone...
You drink a LaCroix and you're like, I'm not mad about anything that's happening here, but I wish there was a little bit more happening.
So like someone gave you a juicy pale ale and then they just, as you're drinking it, they just shouted out IPA from across the room.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I feel that. Well, there's your thoughts right there. That's what's happening. That's pretty good. Critiques. I just totally skipped over feel. Feel, nothing to write home about. It's pretty. It's nice. Don't get me wrong. I actually really like the feel. It's a pretty light bodied, or not light bodied. It's crisp, and it has a good body. It's not overly thick. It's not like overly thin.
Yeah. I would say also I do taste the carb in this. Nice.
Yes, yeah. Good amount of carb. I think lends itself to the crispness. Critiques, I'll right off the bat, I just kind of wish it was a little bit more bitter, personally. And I think that would push it. I think that would solidify its IPA standards for me too. I don't know if you had anything, if you agree, or if you had something different to.
Yeah, I agree. I would put it as I would like a little more oomph.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, agree.
Yeah. But overall, it's a nice beer. Like I've said multiple times, I think it was a little better when it was fresh. But definitely still something
it probably
I can enjoy
suffered
now.
to the. And maybe it didn't. Maybe they made it 6% so they could call it an IPA. But maybe it suffered to canning laws.
That's very possible.
I think if you say pale,
like like this is a pale ale.
Yeah, then this falls better in line with expectations. Expectations matter.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think you're not in so much of a letdown situation then. Whereas labeling as an IPA, it kind of just leaves you wanting a little more. So overall,
I haven't even begun to think about my rating on this beer.
I know
I'm good.
I'm not happy about it, but I'm good.
I'm super good.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
3.5.
4.
Whoa.
B.
Whoa. So you're in the great category. You're a high B. You're about as high as a B as you can be.
Are you a 3.5 great or good?
I'm a good. I'm a
So
good.
you're not even in great. So
we're a little ways away here.
So you really don't like how it's not bitter enough.
Yeah, I think I wish it was a little more bitter and a little bit more bold, which I guess is another way of phrasing your oomph.
So where I would disagree that makes it a good instead of a great is they already have a lot of beers like that. If you want a little more oomph, get a like to me this tastes very similar to like style wise to like a bottom cutter. Want a little more oomph, get a bottom cutter. I mean, maybe that's not as crisp, but like you know what I mean, like
no, that's what I'm saying. I feel like there's a hole somewhere that this could fit that it isn't quite there.
Maybe
that's all. That's how I personally feel about it. I also am judging it off of like the first couple that I had compared to this, and I'm like, I guess that's a little unfair.
I'm kind of thinking like if I'm going to Bale Breaker and I'm like a Little May is a bit much. I don't really want to do bottom cutter. Do you have anything like more on the lighter side? And they're like, well, we got Field 41 and In the Loop, and it's like, well, I don't want Field 41. So
you know what? Hear me out. I think I am being a little unfair. I think I am still going to say 3.5 good right now. I think if you had this in August, I think I would have said 4. I don't know if it would have been an A or a B, but I would have said 4.
Maybe your rating is being hurt by that you've had a good version and I haven't.
Yeah. No, I 100% believe that. I think I could confidently say the first time around I had this, I could have given it a 4. But right now, I'm sitting at a 3.5 good. So maybe that's just even another thing to add to thoughts is like, don't wait around.
Fresh.
Yeah, don't wait around for this guy. Have it fresh. So I read LaCroix as Laxacross.
Yeah, I don't know how to spell LaCroix, so I just put a bunch of letters.
Okay. I thought maybe for a second it was spelled correctly, and I was like, can I just not read?
Maybe it is spelled correctly. I have no idea.
No, I don't know either.
I'm not French.
No, I'm not even from here, so...
What?
I don't know. Well, just like this state, I'm not from here.
But yeah, like LaCroix.
It has nothing to do with LaCroix, I know. Yeah. That's why when you said what, I said, I don't know. So if you can make your way out here, stop at Bale Breaker. They have a absolutely gorgeous tap room in the Yakima area.
First off, not everyone is traveling across the country, especially from east to west, to come to Seattle or something.
Okay.
So, like, stopping at Bale Breaker is not, like, on the way or even close. Like, that's a trip.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're in the area, if you find yourself there, stop at Bale Breaker.
I'm just saying it's right down the street kind of thing.
Don't go to Bale Breaker. You're gonna have a bad time. It's out of the way. There's nothing out there. 75% of what I just said is true.
What else is out there?
No, that's what I said. 75% of what I just said is true. There's nothing out there.
Like, you should go to Bale Breaker. I think it's a cool place, and they have good beer, and they have specific beer that's only released in their tap room or hyper local. Like, it doesn't even get all the way out to like us.
That's what I was gonna start to say. That's what I was gonna. I was starting to say that. I'm like, they don't even really distribute outside of the state. So like, if you're not from Washington, if you're not from the eastern side of Washington, you're really not even gonna find this. So if you find yourself in that area, for whatever reason, I don't know why the fuck you would, unless you're like me and you're moving across the whole damn fucking country and you're driving for some stupid fucking reason. go to Bale Breaker or just fucking go there. I actually can't even say that. Like, if you're in Montana, why the fuck would you drive all the way to Bale Breaker?
I don't know.
I wouldn't do that. If you're not in Washington right now, fuck you. If you are, go to Bale Breaker.
See, that makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining someone...
Like, in no situation is anyone traveling anywhere where they're going to stop through that area. No. Like, maybe... No. Nope.
If you're...
Nope.
Like, if they're not from Washington, it doesn't make sense.
Nope. It doesn't at all. And that sucks because they don't distribute outside of Washington. And they've got some good stuff.
You're like, maybe if you're in Idaho and you're traveling to Rainier, and then a Nick's brain, he's like, why would they do that? They would just go to Glacier.
Well, and then not to mention, like, you're not going up on the fucking 90, you're going down the 12. Like, you're not, all of these things are just not what you do. And then I thought, oh, maybe if you're going to Canada, I was like, no, you're just going to fucking fly to SeaTac. You're not going to, like, the Yakima airport. Why the fuck would you go there and risk your life? That's stupid. I have no reasons. I guess if you're in Idaho and you want to drive to Seattle, or if you're in Montana and you want to drive to Seattle, I don't recommend it because Seattle sucks, but a lot of other people out there do want to go to Seattle for some reason. So stop at Bale Breaker on your way there. Probably better than your time in Seattle.
That's just 100% true.
Yeah, never mind. There's no might at all. Yeah, they like Levi said, they got a lot of different like exclusive tap room beers, so that's pretty cool about them. They have a hop farm on site, which is pretty rad. That's how they started out, is they were a hop farm and then they ended up making a brewery. So
they're like, fuck these experimental love. Other people do it for us.
Exactly. Smart. So do the YouTube stuff if you'd like to.
Part 2 coming in 2 weeks.
For us in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
See you there.
Because like, what Bale Breaker beer are we drinking next? Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be horrible. We don't know. Never had it.
That's true. Have not had it. But we're about to.
See you then.